Hey, happy Friday! It's your National Ari Hathaway, and welcome to Stories That Inspire. I'm really excited to share with you guys today the story of my friend Marilyn Flack, who this is her second time in Mary Kay, and she has done some amazing things in her business. And I've also had the privilege of working with her twice now, which has been an honor and amazing. And so we're going to dig right in. If this is your first time to Stories That Inspire, I know that when I hear someone's story, it just is that little bit of motivation and inspiration that I need to hear. There is a reason why Jesus spoke in parables and why he told stories, because we don't remember everything said, everything somebody says, but we will always remember how they made us feel. And on Fridays, especially, we need to be able to hear these stories that really just allow us to carry into the weekend. But maybe it's this exact story that you need to hear to add a new team member or to inspire someone else or to move you to the next level. So I'm excited to introduce you Marilyn Flack, all the way from Connecticut. And so Marilyn, just tell them a little bit about you so they know, just a little bit about you and your life, and all of that.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Ari, and thank you for having me here today. I truly appreciate that. And so I was born in Cuba, raised in the United States. I came here when I was 4 in the month of January, and in September, I started school because my birthday falls in the end of September. So not only was I in a new country, I also needed to learn a new language. And from early on, I needed to learn how to pivot, and before I even knew the word. And so I was 4 in a new place, needing to learn a new language, and I had difficulty getting the words out because I had lost my 2 front teeth in Cuba before I came to the United States. So I needed to go to speech classes, and they had to teach me how to speak. Not only did I need to learn English, I had to also learn how to speak on the side of my mouth. And so I grew up in this country, and I went to school and I became a nurse. Before that, I used to clean, and I used to clean for families. So I used to clean homes, and I did that until I finished nursing school. And then one thing led to the other, and I met you, Ari, and I found out about Mary Kay. I only recall Mary Kay when I was young, and I would see the compacts, the pink, right?
Yeah.
The pink compacts, and really never understood the philosophy, never understood really Mary Kay as a company, their leaders, and what they really all are about. And so I ask you today, everyone that's watching, please listen with an open heart.
I love that. That's awesome. So you overcame a lot of things early on. I love that, even though your parents were immigrants to this country, you went to college, you got your degree, and that's actually how I met her. Was I had booked my mother-in-law's neighbor, and she had invited her friend, Gigi, who was a coworker, and Gigi invited her neighbor to her party, and Gigi's neighbor was Marilyn's nursing manager at the hospital that Marilyn worked at. So then I booked her for a party. So this is like 5 parties later, and she invited Marilyn to that party. So that's what they always teach you in Mary Kay is, never leave a party without booking, because you don't know who you would meet. And so Marilyn restarted her business. Now she's a mom, she's married, she has grandbabies. You tell them how many kids you have, grandkids, husband, that stuff.
I have 3 children. I am married. I have 3 children, and I have a lot of grandkids
Oh my,
that I feel deeply blessed that I have all my family.
that's awesome. That's so exciting. So, Marilyn, you restarted your Mary Kay business. You came back. It'll be almost 2 years coming up here soon. Would you share what made you decide to come back?
Yes, Ari. And if I could, I would like to just say that the first time that when Mary Kay found me, I was the first time that we met, and I found out about Mary Kay and I met you. I was in a place in my life where I was looking to seeing what options I had. I had been a nurse for so many years. I had worked day shift, evening shift, night shift. And so I got to a point in my life that I just wanted to see what else is out there, you
Mhm.
know? And so, I made a decision. I started my Mary Kay business. Why did I start? Nearly, what I would say, 3 years ago, I restarted, is that I wanted to get the products half off. That's right. So I said, you know what?
Honest.
I'm right. So I was like, I want to get the products at 50% off. Okay. And as a consultant, you can. And so, my gosh, little did I know that that thought in my head would have really started, like, really digging deep. Okay. Once again, years later, I felt that I was in a point in my life that I wanted to see what options were there. And I will tell everyone that's listening, I have been, very blessed, to have known a company such as this, and I'll get into in a little bit, and in a little bit into our conversation today. But I would really like to share that part, with you all. So many get into it for one thing, and then they totally find
Yeah.
out that there is just so much more. There's so much more than it's not about the product. There's so much more. There's so many benefits and so many blessings that come out of a moisturizer or a facial cleanser.
That's so true. So true. I started for the money, but and I think there's like an echo, like I hear myself twice. Is that your computer or your phone? No.
No,
No.
but
Okay, perfect. Okay, just making sure. But I started for the money, but there's so many other reasons why we stay. And all you need is one reason to get started. But let me tell you, there's so many reasons to stay. And I love that about Mary Kay. So, would you just share with us what I know that you said that the reason why you came back was to get your products at a cost, at cost, which is so smart. We have savvy shoppers in Mary Kay. Those are women who are like, I want my product at a discount, and I know my mom, my sister, and my cousin are going to buy from me, right? Like that just kind of like makes sense. But you are now just celebrated this past week a new promotion level as a team leader in Mary Kay. Woo! You got your beautiful red jacket on, which means that she got 100% raise from what her team produces. She can make 8 to 13% now. So Marilyn makes 50% on all her sales from her customers, and whatever her consultants sell to their customers, they make 50%. But the company sends Marilyn a love check from 8 to 13% plus bonuses, which you got a $100 bonus last month, which is amazing. So
yeah.
would you share with us what obstacles did you overcome on your journey to getting to team leader right now? Because I know you've had a few.
Yes, yes. And Ari, if I may, before we get into that, I also wanted to, as what we were talking about before, and I'm going to go back and forth because, yes, you're right. I have done Mary Kay in 2 different seasons in my life with children, as an empty nester, okay, which is an amazing, it's also a benefit, Mary Kay, is because it doesn't matter, where you are in your life, in your journey. You can do it, with children, with small children, as an empty nester, right? And so, I just wanted to mention that, why I had said yes the first time as well, not only because I was looking for what options were there, but what were the reasons why I was looking to see what else was there. Well, my reason of saying yes the first time was because I wanted to stay at home. I wanted to work and see my daughter grow up. Okay. And yet still I was, and to be able to contribute to my household. You
Right.
see, when before Mary Kay found me, when I have my daughter's the youngest, but I also have 2 older sons. And, we don't always get those opportunities to see our children grow up.
Yeah.
And we know that the time that leaves us is time that we don't get back.
Right.
And so those were reasons. Those were reasons why I said yes. Now, obstacles, of course. I've had obstacles in my journey, and what I learned was that, and I had also known this in life, is that consistency is key.
Mm-hmm.
That no matter what obstacles I have in life, as long as I would be consistent, there would be an end to those obstacles, that I would see results. And I also in what obstacles in my journey in Mary Kay, I also had to face and accept to let go of what no longer served me.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to get to a place in my life where I wanted to find peace. And that's what I found because of Mary Kay.
I love
But
that. I love that
mhm.
you don't get that time back with your kids. So you did this the first time when Vicky was young, and now as an empty nester, and I love that. And I love that you shared that you had certain things that you had to let go of that were no longer serving you. And I think it takes a lot of courage as we mature to see patterns in our life that no longer serve us and to make a change. I think sometimes we can get to a certain stage of life and say, well, this is just who I am. Or, you make an excuse for it instead of making a change and personally growing. So I just want to applaud you on your courageousness to find something that you were not going to settle into. And I love that you said consistency is key. So would you share a little bit about what has allowed you, like just like a tip for someone who's like, okay, consistency is key. How do I stay consistent when life has so much going on? What would be something you would say to somebody who's thinking about doing this, or maybe they're in and they just really haven't committed consistently?
Well, I tell you that I encourage to just make a decision. There's no there's no worse decision than not making a decision at all. And that, like I had said before, time is of the essence. Time is so important, and so time is slipping. And I would say just stay focused. There's so many distractions right now, and I love this about my Mary Kay business is that I am taught how to leave those distractions at bay. We are always encouraged as a team, as a unit, as an area, as a company. There's just so much positivity that really truly reminds me to leave those distractions at bay. And now for myself, Mary Kay, I've been blessed. Mary Kay has blessed me because it has allowed me um, to fulfill so many dreams,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I say to myself, oh my gosh, well, okay, what has Mary Kay done in my life? Oh my gosh, it's given me options. It's given me the ability to have a platform where I could empower others, having flexibility, self-reliance, and feeling nurtured by the pink bubble that Mary Kay gives us. I have been able to live so many dreams out and grow from the inside out. I make my own schedule and live a life of meaning, controlling those things that I could control and leaving what I can't control to God.
I love that. I love that you talk about nurture. That's an extremely unique character quality of our culture, is that this is a place where you can be nurtured and grow into yourself. I love that you talked about the peace that you have here. I think a lot of that has to do with for those of you that don't know, Mary Kay has these values of living God first, family second, and career third, which just allows you to have peace in life, that you're not going to get fired, or you're not going to lose your job, or that you just have this inner peace moving forward, knowing that you're living life and like that. So thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. That is so awesome. So you mentioned that you've made dreams come true. So tell us about these dreams that have opened up for you because of your Mary Kay business.
So I get because of Mary Kay, I've been able to get 3 college degrees as well. And I get to make my own schedule. My office is literally 23 steps from my bed. I don't have to. I live in the Northeast, like Ari mentioned, and the winter is going to be upon us. And I don't have to. I don't have to concern myself about getting out there, driving in the snow,
Right.
in difficult weather. I don't need to concern myself about being in traffic, working in an office all day long, being extremely exhausted. Even for those that now are working from home, they are constantly going, working more hours than they have had to before. Okay. And you know what I love about this is that I get to decide what I'm going to do today. I don't, Ari's my director, but I don't reach out to Ari and say, Ari, I need a day off to, for instance, get my yearly checkups. And to me, that's so important because I talk to so many women. They just say, you know what? I'm just working so much. I just haven't had the time and I haven't had the time. Ladies, I'm encouraging you all and men, make time for those important yearly checkups. They're so, so important. And so many things could be caught early rather than later and then could be dealt with. So it, it breaks my heart, Ari, when I hear these stories. Um, there's so much that goes on. I mean, that I have and I do in my life, but I am not asking anyone's permission. And so I love that because so often in our jobs, right, in corporate America, we need to ask for a day off. We need to ask for a time off, even if it's to check our bodies, right, and to see how our bodies are going and doing.
I love that. I'm not asking for anyone's permission. We can get to an age where we're like, do I really still need to ask permission to go to the doctor? Like, at what point am I going to make a change about that? Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So I love that you shared. I remember when I met you, you were studying for one of your degrees, and you're like, oh, I'm not going to work. I'm just going to do Mary Kay and study. And since then, you've gotten 2 more degrees, which I think is just incredible, and that's awesome. So why this is a question for someone who's pondering pink, or maybe they're in but they haven't made a decision to go work it or to be committed or consistent, like you mentioned. So why say yes to Mary Kay now? Why say yes to being committed now or consistent now? What would you say to the person who's thinking that?
Because you need to say yes, because as many that we know get to the end, and when asked, what would you have wanted more in life? They say it's time. I wish I would have had more time. Wow. And Mary Kay provides us with that time that we need so much now to do the things that we want to do and to be with the ones we love as much as we can and want to. So many go through life with their song unplayed, and that doesn't have to be you. It doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the time that you get, the flexibility that you have is just absolutely priceless. I know that when I started my business, I realized how much money I could make here and how much time I was putting into my career without pay because I was salaried. And so I was like, and I know for Marilyn as a nurse, as her director, I see her weekly accomplishment sheets and what she's getting paid per hour. And she has high quality of life instead of working weekends, 12-hour shifts, holidays. And right now, of course, with the environment in the medical field, that things are changing every second, how stressful that is, how high turnover is due to that stress, just having the choice to have time, be home, and still have a wonderful pay per hour, depending on how much you're willing to put into it. So I love that. Marilyn, you're such an inspiration. I know your sister's on here. Maddie said hi.
Thank you. Hi, Maddie.
Maddie's on her team. She's one of her 5. She has her older sister, Aya, is also on her team as well, too, and her daughter. So it's like a family affair. But I know your passion is contagious. I know that Mary Kay has brought things to you, to your husband, and to you, and on your team that really are priceless and wordless. Like, it's not something that you can, put into words. And I love having you on my team. You're the easiest person to coach. She does everything, like dots the I's, crosses the T's, and surely you don't have to do that. This can just be really fun for you and escape while you're making money and building a side hustle, so that you can be building up residual income for the future. It can be any of that. But we're so grateful for you, and we want to say thank you for being on. We hope and pray that this story that inspires has inspired you. And in just a few minutes, we'll be broadcasting in Espanol because Marilyn, like she mentioned, is bilingual. So we'll be doing this again with Historias que Inspiran. So you guys have an awesome Friday. Thank you so much, Mare.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to leave everyone really quickly with a thought. Just make that decision, because you know what? When you win, your whole family wins. Everyone that you know wins, because if you're a light, then you are giving permission for others to shine their lights as well.
That's right. We never win alone. When we win, everyone wins. I love that. Awesome. That's awesome Friday inspiration. So have an awesome Friday night.